Yes. Are we live?
Good evening. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Check That Post podcast. I'm your host, Jen, and my co-host,
Christina.
And we also have a guest with her beautiful self.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm going to let her introduce herself. Tell us who you are and what it is that you do.
I'm Mika. What I do?
Mm-hmm.
So I do mortgages. Hit me up.
Great at it.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. It's a bad time in the mortgage industry, but I can still.
Right.
And yeah, and I'm a mom, a wife, and Tina is one of my very, very trusted and dear friends. I love her so much.
I love you too, friend.
It's always good to have a good friend.
It's not many like this.
Well, tonight's episode is about
So tonight's episode is about, can men and women be friends and just be simply platonic and not have any kind of extra feelings for each other or, acting on those feelings.
Right.
My take on that, I would have to say, I'm not going to say a hard no, maybe a soft no. And I feel this way just because of my experiences in the past. Either the guy wasn't able to, remain only friends and, not have more feelings, or it was either, maybe the guy, like I had a guy friend, he was in a relationship and his old lady couldn't take it, so it was like, dang, I'm about to lose my best friend, but, it's not because, we don't want to be friends anymore. It's just because, his life has reached, a certain point to where we just got to leave each other behind. So, that, in that sense, I do believe, it is possible. But, both, you got to be on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have friends that, or I've had friends that, we beginning said up front, we're just friends, like nothing more.
But how did y'all, that's the thing though, like how did
that even come about?
Right, because I feel like even for a man and a woman, like to even, if you start a friendship now, like at our age, the age that we are, it's because one of the other parties was like interested. Like there's some type of underlying attraction. So you don't just see a guy and you just like,
out of the blue.
Oh, I want to be best friends.
Right. Exactly.
Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like how does that even, like how, I feel like it starts off as an attraction or, and then maybe, it's a hard no for me. A very hard no.
Well, to answer your question, so there was an instance where, I was friends with a guy, and I was up in age, so it was no, like, attraction, not on my end. On his end, he never made it seem like there was an extra attraction other than just strictly friends. Because he had an old lady, I had a man, like we were cool. Like we hung out, went places. We even went places with each other's significant other. Like,
but if you were to have, I feel like men and women like look at that totally different. So I do feel like, it is possible for a female to be in a genuine authentic friendship, and she's like, oh, this is just my friend. But a man, no, I don't. That is biologically not possible. It's not, because your friend, I bet you, if you were to come on to your friend, he was not going to turn you down.
I don't know.
No, he would not have. Unless he liked men. If any,
well, he had an old lady, like.
That doesn't matter, Tina.
To some men, it does.
No,
there are some faithful men.
And if he was faithful, he wouldn't have a female friend to begin with. Because
no, I don't agree with that.
I agree. No.
So you feel like no man shouldn't have any female friends?
No.
Okay, so what about this? Okay, so let's say you have or let's just say your husband has a female friend. And his female friend is able to give him a woman's perspective.
No.
So like if you're pissed off at your husband and
no, listen for her.
No, it's a big.
The way she said no.
No, but you know what? Okay. So this is the thing. I feel like, and I'm trying to be careful with my words. I have a husband, okay? So I feel like for the woman or the female, I think that it's all about how the female approaches the situation at the same time, you know what I mean? So I feel like you can't think...
Female as not you, but friend.
Right. So if you consider yourself to be a friend of my husband, but I don't know you, you've never engaged with me, you've never acknowledged me, you've never talked to me, but to the outside world and to other people, you're like, oh, this is my friend. No, I think if the tables were turned, and let's just say, for example, I wasn't married and I had a friend that was a male, and it was a genuine, authentic, platonic friendship. There was no attraction, no lust, no anything inappropriate. And he had not even just a girlfriend, but he had a wife. You know what I mean? I would do everything in my power to ensure that she is comfortable. Right. You don't think that something's going on. You know, like, because I feel like when it starts to cross the lines and it starts to get blurred is when it seems sneaky. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So then that's when it comes, and I'm like, no. And that's why I feel strongly how I feel, because I'm not gonna. And also, I think there's a difference between a friend and an associate. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. Like I feel like a friend. Like okay, if I have like for example, I have males in my life who I grew up with, like that my mom helped raise, or you know, from the time I was a little girl. But we're not blood, but we look at each other as family. So that's like a genuine platonic family type of love.
But you're not family. You're technically friends.
But that's what I'm saying. So, but it started from a young age. So that's why I think when you just out the blue, okay, if you were married to me, because I know like it kind of sounds like contradicting, but what I'm saying is like if you grow up in a situation, and, you know, and this is like what it's always been, like you meet your significant other at the time that you've been friends with this guy for 15, 20 years. You know what I mean? No, like that's you know, that's what it is. But after you've established a relationship or a marriage or anything serious with your significant other, this third party can't come in. So, like, oh, we're just friends.
So you're saying if the friend was there before, then it would be okay, but if the friend came afterward, that's when it would be an issue.
Well, let me interject, because I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Like if there's somebody that you grew up with, but you got to understand from his point of view, that's somebody that you knew.
That's still, and that could be somebody that
in your life
you
that you grew up with. Yeah. He don't know this person, so that person secretly could have a crush on you, and he could probably see that or have their intuition that person
That
have a
person.
crush on you.
Mm-hmm.
So he gonna be looking at it with different eyes until he get to know that person and see y'all relationship and see y'all interaction. So you got to consider that as well.
Yeah, and I do agree with that to like a certain extent because I feel like I feel like there's a huge difference in having a long-term family type of bond friendship with someone that you look at like a brother or you look at like a sister that grew up in the same household with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that is so different than us being grown adults and you may be 10 years, you don't even have to be 10 years, you may be 6 months into a serious relationship and then out the blue, here comes this woman or here comes this man and it's like, oh, I'm going to dinner tonight with my friend. We just friends. Like, don't worry, baby. Like, this is my homeboy. Or this is my homegirl. You know what I mean? But that's what friends do. So as I said, like, I think it's a difference between having an acquaintance or an associate. Like, you know, if it's an associate, like, you know, happy birthday, Merry Christmas. When I see you, hey, what's up? But a friendship, like.
Well, what about the situation if that so-called friends see you out with your significant other? They speaking to them.
Oh, that right.
You. Like,
see, and that's the part too, because it's like, you know, and that's what because it's like, okay, so like, what's really going on?
Right. Yeah, you have to look at the agenda.
Yes.
Like, what's your intent?
What is your intent, and why so secretive?
And like you said, though, if it was a real, genuine friendship, you know, between the guy and the girl, then the girl would, you know, come to you. Like you said, trying to make you feel comfortable.
Acknowledge
you know, that, you know, because that's what I did, you know, in the situation that I was in.
But did his girlfriend trust it?
She did in the beginning, but after a while, I don't know if, like, some people got in her head or something like that, or maybe she just wasn't comfortable. Too close. I don't know.
Because I feel like for women, and I think that you have to have, like, I think you have to be in that position of the woman to be with your man, and your man has a friendship with another woman outside of you. Like, I feel like when it's kind of like when you're the friend, you know, your intentions are pure and genuine, and you're like, you know, like, what are you tripping for? Like, this is, you know, but when the role is reversed, yes, because you're gonna think to yourself, like, for one, I feel like, and then me, like, I'm very I'm not like a jealous woman, but I'm very like territorial. So I feel like what's mine is mine. You know what I mean? And I feel like I should, and I can be that way without having to be like jealous or, you know, because I feel like if something, and at the end of the day, also, if your significant other is having a quote unquote friendship, and that's what it's supposed to be, eventually it's gonna come to the light if it's not. You know what I mean? But it's gonna come to the light.
Yeah,
but
totally agree.
it's gonna. But I feel like it might be possible for a woman to have genuine, pure intentions for a friendship with a man. But I feel like it is. Back in the day, men used to be with their aunties and mamas, and them the same men, the same brain today. It's just biologically, no, because I just don't see it.
I wouldn't say no man can, because first of all, you got to trust the person that you're with.
But why y'all friends though?
If you don't trust that person, nobody is gonna be saved.
But why are y'all friends though? Like, that's what I'm trying. Like, why are y'all friends?
Well, let me intervene just for a second, because we have a comment. Miss Denisha Cole said that she feels like it's acceptable if the friend was there before the marriage. And I kind of agree there. You know, if the friend was there before the marriage, and the friend is doing, you know, their due diligence to try to make you know, the wife feel comfortable and feel like, you know, this is nothing, you know, this we strictly friends. You can come on and be best friends with us, you know, like all of us hang out together. Like I don't want to hang out. I don't gotta hang out with your husband with just me and your.
But
husband.
why are y'all hanging out anyway?
Because we're friends.
Why?
What do you mean? Why?
Why?
If I was friends with let's say me and Jermaine.
But why? I'm gonna say why.
If I was friends with Jermaine before you came along, so you saying whenever he started dating you, he gotta cut me off.
Definitely. Definitely. He does.
Even if we were friends, like you were friends with the kids that your mama raised from they was a little kid like that. And me and Jermaine was in diapers together, running around. Yeah. So it would be okay then.
Listen, because if the female was there, right, at first, the female was there, but are we talking about there a week before you came? You know what I mean? A month before you came?
No, we're talking about some time. We ain't talking about
I wholeheartedly feel like it is not scientifically possible, because what is the point?
Okay, so what do you do in a situation then?
Well, I feel like it's gonna be either something I don't know about, and I'm gonna eventually find out about it. You know what I mean? But you're not gonna.
You're gonna wait and to see it.
Yeah, but you're not gonna play in my face and be like, "Oh, this is my friend," and I'm gonna eat with my friend.
Well, what you gonna do?
Then I wouldn't be in a relationship like that. Okay. I'm not gonna do it because I don't feel comfortable. So if you, first of all, when you get married, or I don't even want to say married, because you don't necessarily have to be married. Everybody doesn't get married. But when you are in a serious, committed relationship, no other person should come before your spouse. So aside from children, right? Yeah. But if your spouse is not comfortable, and I feel like the only reason why people get all upset, and it's like, for example, if you have a man and you're like, you know, I'm not comfortable with that friendship, and he's like, oh, we just friends, and he get all mad and upset and stuff. That emotion is coming from feelings. It's because he loved her.
I mean, it could be feelings, and he could love her, but he could love her as a friend.
Well, let me interject once again, because if you're okay, now women, I'm talking about women. If a woman is secure within herself, and again, if she trusts her significant other, she gonna let him know how she feel about it.
Right.
She may or may not be comfortable with it, but once she voices her feelings, if she's uncomfortable and he does nothing to change that situation, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But if she say, okay, bring her over, let us meet her, and let her women's intuition pick up whatever vibes she needs to pick up, and then judge it accordingly. But for him to just ignore how she feels, because first of all, she's supposed to be your friend. Not saying that you can't have any female friends, but what are you saying to her? Are you telling her she's not enough? Like, why you got to go outside that relationship?
What's the point?
That's my take on it.
Yeah.
But again, if she trusts him, she feel like, you know, he can have a female friend.
But the man won't let. That's the thing about it, because you know, it's like, okay, the woman, you know, she's secure within herself, and it's like, okay, I trust you. You know, you can have a female friend, and I'm gonna be okay with it. A man is not going to be so. You can't come to your man and be like, "This is my home."
I mean, it depends on what man you talking to.
No, because I feel like no.
You don't think the man would accept her having a male friend?
He would not. And I think that if he does accept you having a male friend, it's because he might have his own little female friends, and he want to be able to have female friends. Because what's the point? You know, like, and that's why I said I think it's a difference between an associate and acquaintance. Like, you know, not like, you know, you could talk to, you know, other people of the opposite sex, you know, be cool, whatever. But when I say friends, I'm referring to like one-on-one, alone time being spent together. Like me and you go to dinner, because me and you friends, Tina. I might come to your house and chill on the couch with you and drink some wine and watch a movie. That's what friends do. You know what I mean? Like if
I mean, friends hang out in groups also.
They do, but friends also hang out one-on-one. Friends also come to your house. Friends also call you in a time of distress or pain or when they need comfort. Right. So that's why I feel like it's a very thin line between, you know what I mean? And it's very easy to cross that line.
Absolutely.
So that's why you have to set up boundaries.
Right. And that's why you just shouldn't have no friends.
If she's a friend, like calling you 1 o'clock in the morning, I don't care if she do so-called say it's work related. She's a friend calling you 3 o'clock in the morning, texting you 1, 2 o'clock. No, we're not doing that.
No, because I mean, you gotta have respect for that person's relationship and everything. And if that person's not doing that, then that might not be a friend that you need to have. But I don't feel like just because you get in a relationship, that means you gotta drop every friend that you done ever had or that you had.
Of course,
I don't agree with that.
But again, boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking on that, we have a Dear Jen letter.
Okay.
On this topic. Look at the reaction there. Dear Jen, my husband has been acting funny lately. The only thing I can think of that has changed is he's been talking to this friend who he works with. Since he's met her, she's all he talks about. Red flag. It started with him texting her, asking work-related questions. Now she texts all hours of the day and night. I have made him aware of how uncomfortable this makes me, and he said he would chill. But now she's calling at 1 o'clock in the morning, sometimes later. What should I do? Anonymous.
Block her from his phone.
No,
but definitely have another conversation with him. Let him know how you feel about that once again. And if he don't do nothing about it, then you do something about it.
So let me ask you this. What would happen if you have a male friend and then they texting you 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, taking your attention away from him? How would he react? There's a thing called respect.
She go get her a male friend.
Not if she don't want him to have no female friend. She don't.
Girl, show him what it feel like.
You leave him. Okay, that's how you show him.
We're not gonna do.
We're gonna play tit for tat.
No, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna chuck these juices.
But if you respect him and he respects you, and you tell him how you feel about it,
right?
And something should change because he wants you to be happy.
Absolutely.
And he care about how you feel.
Right.
So if it's that big of a deal to where it's interfering with your marriage, set those boundaries.
Right.
Let him know what you expect, and he let you know what he expects, and just go accordingly. Because if any man loves you, he's not going to put you in a position where you question and hit that love.
Right.
So that's been my experience.
My question also is why is she so comfortable thinking she can call him it?
Right.
Like, what is he doing or saying to make her that comfortable? Because
and then for him to say he gonna chill and then it got worse. No, but
I don't know red flags.
Okay, well I have another Dear Jen letter here, and this one reads, Dear Jen, I was actually delighted to see the next topic on Check That Post, specifically because I'm dealing with this situation currently. Honestly, I don't believe it's possible to remain only friends with my current best friend. I say this because as time passes, my feelings grow stronger and his does as well. We have discussed this prior and both agree that we don't want to taint our relationship, our friendship. I try ignoring these feelings I have for him, but it's extremely hard. I really just want to lay it all on the line and give it a try, but don't want to make the wrong decision. Any ideas on how to proceed? I really believe that this very well may be the love of my life. Signed, a lover's friend. Go first.
I just want to say case in point to my whole why I said men and women can't be friends, because she falling in love with her best friend.
Well, but he is too, so.
In that case.
But they're not in relationships.
But
well, that's not what she didn't say.
Are they not in relationships with each other or
nobody else?
Nobody's in a relationship.
I think, well, from what she says,
they're
both single and they're just best friends. But they both kind of want to be more than friends, but it sounds like they don't want to try it and then it don't be right.
They mess up their friendship.
They're not friends anymore, so.
Well, how else are you going to know?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was going to say. I believe just like she said, just lay it on the line then. Because if y'all are really friends, like that, then y'all can make it through that. If y'all realize that, okay, this ain't even going to work. Let's just, But sometimes it's hard to come back from that.
I was going to say, like
I
if
do understand how she's like,
because if you cross that line, and then
it's kind of like, going back sometimes. So. But it just depends on what y'all go through.
How long have they been friends?
Time.
Did it say?
She didn't say.
No.
That's a tricky one.
It is.
But if you want to know, only way to find out
is to try.
Right. And especially if he said his feelings, or if he's telling her, his feelings are growing stronger too, then, it might be something. You might be surprised and it'll work out, y'all be happily ever after.
And especially if you're friends first before you start dating and things get complicated, then that friendship should be able to survive. If not, then just
I
do
was
the
gonna
wrong
say that
thing
too.
and go your separate ways.
Right.
Call it a day.
I think if the friendship is solid from the beginning, if the romantic side of it doesn't work out, then I feel like that friendship is still there.
Right.
So I don't see the harm in trying it. If
Me
it don't
neither.
work,
Life is about taking risks and stuff, and that's one of them. Just put your heart out there on the line.
But if you have a girlfriend, don't you go up to
No,
that man,
don't do that, ma'am.
telling him that you love him.
Now you might want to, do your own
Wait till they
thing.
break up.
Don't you go to that man talking about you love him?
So, do you have another Jim?
No, that was the only one I had.
Okay. Okay, y'all. Well, Christmas is coming up. So, I want to talk a little bit about building Christmas memories. Now it seems like this generation of people are really getting away from the whole Christmas spirit. And I'm trying to figure out why that is. Seems like 2020 is just, after that, just nobody cares anymore. Well, I ain't gonna say nobody cares, but it's just a different type of atmosphere.
It's not the same since COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question is, if we're not doing Christmas, we're not getting into the spirit of the holidays, what memories are we building? Like I got grandkids. They're gonna eventually grow up and have their own kids, and then they grow up and have their kids. But if they don't have those memories to fall back on to teach their kids, can you imagine what holiday spirit would be like whenever, let's see, what, 20 years from now? Like, what you got what pictures that you got to look back on and show the togetherness, or remember the games, or
that is true.
Or like what happened to Christmas? What are you gonna have to show for that? So, with that being said, y'all tell us in the comments what we can do to maintain that spirit of Christmas. I know I have a lot of pictures, and not just dealing with Christmas, but with life period of the kids growing up, to put together and maybe a scrapbook or something. So that's something that you could pass down from generation to generation, so they can look back and say, oh, you remember this time? I know I took my kids fishing, and they caught their first fish for the first time, and they were so proud. Like the smile on their face, that's a memory that I got pictures of it. So that's in still form that they can look back on and show their kids. And then their kids can say, well, grandma did caught her first fish here. Great grandma, just have that memory. Build those memories with your family so they'll keep your memory alive.
Right.
And
not just holidays.
Not just
all
holidays.
the time.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it was like that for just like all the holidays like that when family is supposed to be together. When I was younger, my whole entire family would get together. Like we would go to my grandmother's house, and like I used to look forward to it because I would be with all my cousins. And then now, like on Thanksgiving, we had Thanksgiving at my house, and none of London's, like, she was looking forward to seeing like some of her cousins. Yeah, and like one of her cousins, my niece and nephews came or whatever, but like as far as like my cousins and their children and stuff, they didn't show up. And so it was something that London was looking forward to. And so I always tell Jermaine, I feel so bad because London is growing up so differently than I did. You know what I mean? And she's already an only, like I don't have any other children. So she depended on like the bond with her cousins and things like that. So like that's true, because London, I don't think she's going to have very many memories from our family, unfortunately.
Because
well, I try, you know what I mean, but it's like, you know, we still celebrate and things like that, but it's just, you know, just us, you know, like my immediate family, like my mom, you know, my brothers, you know.
That's how we do. And I was the same way London was looking forward to that. I used to be the same way, like, oh, we get to see our cousins, like we get outfits, all
just
that. We
ready.
don't even be caring about what we wearing no more, like, especially if we do Thanksgiving at the house or Christmas at the I'm pajamas probably. So I'm comfortable, like I'm not getting dressed up. Like I miss that though. Like,
I do too.
I really do. Like, so
what about the games?
The games,
like that's memories. That's life. That's
it is.
So how do you think that
how
do you think that? Like, what do you do to try to change that? Because I think for us, nobody really initiates it. Because my mom, she gets mad because she has to, like, she sends out these messages and she's like, you know, where are we doing Thanksgiving? Where are we doing Christmas? And like nobody's like hardly responding. You know, she's like, you know, I'm not doing this anymore. She's like, you know, y'all are old enough. Y'all need to be organizing this and initiate. Like, y'all aren't kids anymore. So if my mom doesn't initiate it,
who's holding that family together?
No, it's
even with the Sunday dinners.
Yep.
We don't do that no more.
We used to do Sunday dinners as friends.
We got to bring that back. Because what else is we got? This family is all you got. You don't have what you got. Work. Kids don't go outside and play no more. You ain't got that.
They want you to buy them a golf cart so they can go outside.
But yeah, that's something to think about. Just getting together with family and friends. Get together with family and friends and build those memories so y'all can have something to hold on to and look back over the years. And when you old and gray, you know, pick somebody out the family that hold the dinner. Bring your dish, exactly.
So it's not, and make it a potluck. Don't make it so much on yourself. If you hosting at your house, don't do all the work. Like, get people to help you. Because that's going, you know, that's really what it's about, I think. People don't want to put in all their work. It's a hard job.
One
to do all
person
that prepping and
clean
up after everybody leaves.
Don't just go and eat and take a plate and
drink out of liquor.
Exactly.
Stay back, ask, can I help? You know, what can I do to help? Like, make it about loving on family, because you may look up and the next day they gone.
Absolutely.
And what you got to show for that time that you spent. Fleeting memories gone. Like, I can't even remember what happened last Christmas. Like, why? What part
memorable enough?
What did you do?
I don't remember last Christmas
to have that to hold on to. So that's just something that was on my mind that I want to talk about.
Now we gotta not just be talking about it. We gotta actually start.
That's right. Execute. Yes.
So, can't wait for that.
Don't like she said, don't wait on the holidays. Just pick a day where you off and you got the time to send out a few texts. Hey, when we having dinner over here,
Right.
meet us at such time and enjoy that family time. You know, you ain't got no excuse. I mean, I know COVID is still around or whatever, but wear your mask. You know, you do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Because gone here today, gone tomorrow.
Right.
So, anyway, thank you for joining us for another episode of Check That Post podcast. You can text us at 866-311-2251 or write a Dear Jen letter at checkthatpostpod@gmail.com. And thank you. Join us every Thursday at 7:30 p.m.